So a bit of news before we start the podcast today. Usually me and Jake would talk about this, but it's coming an off, not off season, but, the time where we're not recording. But Wednesday you've actually been linked with a striker, and I wasn't going to keep this podcast topical because it's going to be a random episode, but I think it needs talking about because January's coming up. There's going to be a lot of talk in the Talking Wednesday podcast when we're obviously back and we're chatting together about new signings and things like this. But this signing here from Football League World, Sporting Gijon striker UROS DJURDJEVIC, right, there's no one here to mock my pronunciation today, is attracting attention from Barnsley, Ipswich Town, Millwall, Rotherham United and Sheffield Wednesday ahead of the January transfer window. Sources have exclusively informed Football League World. The Montenegro international has followed up his 22 goals in La Liga 2 last season with 7 in 18 games for Sporting this term. The striker has scored goals across Europe, featuring for sides in the Netherlands, Serbia, Italy and Greece before moving to Spain, but it is thought his physical style of play would make him a very good fit for English football. Sources have exclusively revealed to Football League World, again, that Barnsley, Ipswich, Millwall, Wednesday and Rotherham are all interested in Djurdjevic, who has been offered to a number of different English clubs. Football League World understands that Sporting are keen to keep hold of the 27-year-old, whose current deal runs until 2023, but the Spanish club will find it hard to resist any reasonable offers for him. End quote. So there's a bit more in the article there. However, there's a few red flags to this in terms of Wednesday's situation, but there is also some potential workarounds. The red flags would be, obviously, Barnsley are in a higher division than us. Millwall potentially a better prospect at the minute if you're looking at where he wants to go for the football. But then you look at the stature of the clubs, Wednesday are up there, you could see it. The big problem for Wednesday is he's in contract. And this hasn't always been an issue. We've seen with George Byers, we've seen, I think it was just George Byers. No, there was definitely another one. But we managed to get him on a free, even though he was under contract. And the thing about Byers is they've got a big sell on him, and he's gone for free. And we've managed to do deals like that because Wednesday is still sort of under that soft embargo. We can't pay transfer fees for players. There's never been any real thing that came out, as far as I'm aware, if I can recall rightly, whether that's actually been imposed by the EFL or it's sort of sanctioned by Chancery to keep us from being in financial difficulties. Obviously, we've got a lot of turnover from being a championship club, and we've not fully shed that wage bill, even though we have significantly reduced it. But that aside, we can't sign players. It's basically we can't sign players at the minute, and that is a big stumbling block when you are competing with clubs for a player. I do think, from what I've seen here, we talk about the unknown status of players coming in from these leagues. 22 goals in La Liga 2, 18 goals with 7 in 18 games this season. He can score goals. We do need a player that can probably do that for a little bit longer than Gregory can. Gregory, for me, could be our 20-goal-a-season striker this season. However, he is 33. So that is a issue. Bringing in a striker that's 27, that's coming up to the prime of his career and he's bagging in these goals, is a positive sign. I think it's something Wednesday should be looking at. I think because he's a physical striker, that's the thing that stands out about this, his physicality. The English game is like that, but he's also got to have the attacking knowledge. What we need is somebody who can get in the right positions, that making those runs and making that movement brilliant. You don't have to be the fastest in the world. In the Championship, a lot of it is about pace now because it's sort of becoming the Premier League. You do need your pace. But you see with older players comes that attacking movement and knowing where to stand. And we've got good delivery. Think about Barry Bannon's through balls. If we can get a player who knows where to stand, I think that would put us in a good position, really. If we have, an injury to Gregory or something like that, I would like to see us in for a player just to give us options. And I think we will be in for a bit of a battle to get him, but it's good to see that Wednesday is still trying to go into the market even for players that are under contract. Now, I feel like this is a bit of a tradition. We've got to look at his FIFA card. Now, this is what stands out as, this would be a bit of a FIFA get for us. He'd be our first gold in quite a while since, like, Westwood because of Wednesday's decline. He's a 75 rated striker, guys. If you're a FIFA person, that's what it's about. I mean, his links are terrible, but he would end up bringing a League One link there if you had a League One team. But he'd be a gold, so he couldn't play in silvers. I reckon he'd get a downgrade, to be fair, if he came to us. But they don't usually if the winter upgrade's already happened, and I believe it has. So let's have a look at his stats. He's got 79 pace, 79 shooting, 54 passing, 71 dribbling, 31 defending, and 85 physical. He would actually be very, very good. 79 pace ain't no slouch, especially when you're playing a League One side. 85 physicality. Be interesting to see the meta in that. I've not actually looked into the strength and stuff like that, but 79 shooting as well is one of those things. Berahino, if you've not watched my career mode, he is so much better on FIFA than he has been for Wednesday, and this would be a great pair if you put up. I play a front three in FIFA when I'm doing a Wednesday career, but this guy would get into it, and maybe he would be the new Berahino for many people if they did their career mode. But in real terms, it's good to see we're still in for players. There's going to be quite a battle there for him, but we do need to sign a striker that can get us goals that isn't Gregory, because at the minute, Canberra's sort of playing as that player that can link it up and hold the ball up well. But we're not really playing him as the striker, sort of a shadow striker role sometimes for him. Would Djurdjevic be that player that we can bring in if Gregory gets a knock or something? We'll see what happens.